Good evening, everybody. It's February 23rd, 2014. You're listening to Common Ground Radio, a member of the Air Nation Radio Network, where we discuss anything and everything from the daytime Emmy-winning drama Days of Our Lives. Thank you for spending the last part of your Sunday with us. If you're new to our show, I'm your host, Brandon, and on the line with us, as always, is my awesome co-host from Tennessee, Misty. I don't know why I just put in you from Tennessee, but I just wanted to add that in there.
Well, it's just my accent wouldn't give it away.
Right, of course. No one could tell.
Hello. Did you have a good week?
I guess. I guess the best part of the week was the weekend. I applied for a job here locally and got an email just yesterday that I have an interview coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yay!
So, kind of a little excited, a little nervous. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's a new restaurant that they're still in the process of building. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yay.
I'll keep you all updated.
Yes. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I'm probably going to need it.
Whatever.
All right. Let's see. Before we get into our main discussion, just want to remind you all of a few things. Log on to airnationradio.com. Check out all our past shows. You can download them and listen to them anywhere you please. And most importantly, if you missed our interviews with Jen Lilly and Jade Harlow, you'll be sure to want to check those out. Both of those shows, we had a blast, and the ladies were so sweet. So please go check those out if you have not yet. Next, we'd like to give you the tweets of the week. Every week, Misty and I bring you our favorite tweets from Daystars past and present. Let's see. I believe I have 3 and you have 2, Misty?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get started. My first one is from Freddie Smith. He says, you can follow him at Freddie M. Smith. Don't you love when you pull up next to somebody, you know, and you and roll down the window? Roll down your back window, then your passenger window before you actually get to your window.
I do that all the time.
It's so true. So true.
I normally don't do the back window, but I do the passenger side window, and I'm like,
yeah.
Really? It's like, why would you even do that? It's so funny. It's the button closest to you, so I guess you're just like, It's hilarious. I'll do that all the time. Okay. My first tweet is, of course, Jen Lilly. If you want to follow her, she's at @Jen_Lilly. She says, that awkward moment when you realize you've kept talking even after your call dropped.
Oh, my gosh. That is totally me. That is so me because I have so many issues with that. She's like speaking to me. Oh, my gosh. That rings so true. I totally
know.
That tweet.
I do that all the time, too. And I'm like, hello? Oh, my gosh, you didn't hear anything I said.
Oh, yeah, that's embarrassing, too. All right. My next one's from Galen Gearing. You can follow him at Galen Gearing. Happy Valentine's Day, people. Now go kiss someone, preferably someone you know. # stay out of jail. Is that something you've done?
No.
No? Okay. All right. That's good.
I don't go and kiss or hug random strangers.
That's good.
Although they come up to me to hug me, I'll hug back. But I won't hug them to start with.
You're not one to approach.
Okay. My last one is from Jade Harlow. If you want to follow her, she's at Jade_Harlow. She says, oh, social media, how you managed to distract me with the most absurd and useless nonsense.
Truth. So much truth. And you never get anything done either.
I know. Everyone stays on social media.
What did we do before social media? Well, went outside probably more often.
Oh, no, I was going to say, we went outside, read a book.
Oh, my. My last one's from Jen Lilly. She said, that awkward moment when you're trying to dodge someone and you both step in the same way twice.
I do that all the time at work.
Yeah, I walk on campus. There's so many people. You can't avoid it. You try to read somebody, but you can't read what they're going to do. And you try to go their opposite direction, but they end up going, it's crazy.
And it's always 2 steps, too, like she says. Oh, gosh. I'm, like, picturing it in my mind, and it's hilarious.
Jen, what will we do without her daily tweets?
Oh, I don't know. I would live a boring life.
Oh, gosh. She's the best. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to give you some news surrounding the show and the cast. We're just going to this is just to keep you all up to date with the latest happenings with the actors and things of that nature with the show and whatnot. I do love the word whatnot, so you'll hear me saying that periodically. The first
My
thing,
husband uses that word a lot.
I don't know why I love it so much. I can't explain.
And whatnot? I'm like, no, I don't know. What is a whatnot?
Oh, my gosh. I can't. Okay. Ratings. The ratings for Days of Our Lives is the first thing I'd like to bring up to you all. This is for the week of February 3rd. NBC's Days of Our Lives continues its season-long ratings momentum as the series delivered its biggest women 18 to 49 audience in nearly 3 years for the week of February 3rd through 7th. Let's see. To bring up what happened that week, that was the week of the EJ and Abby shower scene. That's just one of the storylines. I can't remember exactly what all happened, but that was just one of the storylines. So, and I don't think the ratings have been released for the next week, which was this past week, but when they all are, we'll keep you up to date with that. So, the ratings have just continually been climbing. So, great news on the ratings front. Next thing I'd like to bring up to you all, some sad news to pass along. I'm sure you all have heard. Days of Our Lives actor, and of course you all know him from The Waltons, Ralph Waite, who played Father Matt, has passed away. I believe it was February 13th he had passed away. I'm trying to get to the story, but I can't find it. I believe he was 85. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I believe he was 85.
85. And we hadn't seen them on Days for a while, so we were kind of wondering why, because they knew pastor or a father. So now we know what has happened. Evidently, he must have been sick for a while, but again, Ralph Waite, Father Matt on Days of Our Lives, has passed away at the age of 85, February 13th, at his home in California. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all of his family members. The last thing, I had many things that I wanted to bring up for the last piece of news. Let's see. What did I? Oh, okay. John Aniston. There are rumors swirling from Celebrity Dirty Laundry, which is a website that I do not trust. I just want to put that out there, saying that he had decided to retire. They deliver a lot of soap news, and most of it's always wrong. So don't trust Celebrity Dirty Laundry. That's just my personal opinion. But John Aniston, who plays Victor, was going to retire. Well, this morning we found out that Soap She Knows, another leading website that I do enjoy, Soap She Knows, had talked with a rep of John Aniston, and he has said that he is not retiring. So, plan on seeing Victor Kiriakis still stirring things up in Salem for many years to come. And then the last, I didn't tell you about this, Misty, but I just heard about it. And if you follow me on Twitter, you saw this. I'll bring it up real quick. Days of Our Lives. If you are in Australia, you know that it has been off for a while. Well, Days of Our Lives has just been announced that it will return to Australian TV. A deal between the TV platform Foxtel and U.S. studio Sony means that the sands of the show's hourglass will continue to flow on Australia's shores once more. The show will relaunch in April on its Arena channel, screening episodes the same day as their U.S. broadcast. Prior to its launch, Foxtel will screen 10 catch-up episodes introduced by cast members to provide a bridge for fans between events in Salem when it was last seen in Australia. So, exciting news for all you Australian Soap Days fans. I'm not sure if there's any other soaps that air in Australia, but I don't know. I know
England has their own soaps.
Yes. Right.
Like, there was one that I was seeing on Hulu, Coronation Place or something like that.
Coronation Street, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are British soaps, I believe. There's EastEnders, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Hollyoaks. Britain is they have, I think those are primetime soaps though. But soaps are popular in other places in the world. Like they're popular now, like they were here, like years ago. I know, for example, Bold and the Beautiful is one of the best widely watched soap worldwide. It might not be the most watched in America, but it is the most widely watched soap. I know it has a huge following in Italy. I know Days has a huge following in South Africa, along with Australia. So good to see soaps on the upswing and airing all over the world. All right, so now I think we can jump into our discussion for this evening. Just to remind you all, if you want to call in to discuss anything about last week's shows or what we were going to be bringing up, we're going to be what we're going to talk about. Number is 1-724-444-7444, all the fours, and you'll enter the call ID, which is 131151, and finally 1 pound, and you're in. Call in at any point during our show. Don't be shy. Tonight, we'll be focusing our discussion around two of the biggest storylines from the past few weeks, Eric and Nicole, and Will and Sunny. So, please be sure to call in if you want to discuss any of those things. Sorry, dead air. I see we have Kendra on call. We're gonna talk about Will and Sunny second, so I'll go ahead and bring you on when we get to them. Like I said, the first thing that we're going to talk about is going to be Eric and Nicole. We're going to do our best to be done by 8 because I don't know about you all, but I have a show, Amazing Race, premieres tonight. I'm so excited. It's a celebrity season. I didn't watch it last season because I got mad, but this season it's the people that have raced before. What do you call that? It's not celebrity, but all-star season. All-star season. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
I've watched Amazing Race, but I don't really keep up with it.
Brandon and Rachel are going to be on there from Big Brother.
Oh, cool.
Well, you probably don't watch Big Brother anyways, but...
I do.
Okay. Well, I'm getting off topic. I'm sure you all probably don't care. So, what did I say? Eric and Nicole. All right. I think we'll start off with Daniel. We'll start out with Daniel and Nicole when they found Dr. Chika. So they found Dr. Chika in this cabin out in the woods. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they had detained him, trying to get answers from him regarding Father Eric and Kristen. They drugged him and got semi-helpful answers from him, I guess you would say. I mean, he wasn't that helpful because, he was half unconscious. So there was after they were in the cabin, there was someone outside watching them. I can't remember his name. I think he had a name. One of Stephanie's hints.
It was Martinez. Wasn't it? Or that, I think it was Martinez.
Go. I don't hear them talking. Why? I mean, I didn't put...
You had just talked about the guy, and someone in the chat room told us his name was Bruno.
Bruno. Was it? I know.
I thought it was Martinez.
I don't.
But they said Bruno, so I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe his name's Martinez. He's playing Bruno.
All right. Well, I'm just all flustered now. So.
I was like, hello.
I can't believe we both hung up. Oh my gosh. Now that we wasted all this time. So Nicole, this guy, whoever he was, Bruno Martinez, busted in the door. He's one of Stefano's henchmen, of course. Busted in the door, and him and Daniel got into it. It was a pretty good fist fight for a soap, I would say.
Yeah.
They were going at it.
I know. I was like, look at Daniel being all MMA.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Dan. So while they were going at it, Nicole was standing over there, and I think she pulled a gun at one point. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. But Daniel had eventually taken down this henchman and knocked him unconscious, while Dr. Chaika was still half unconscious in the chair. So they continued to drill Dr. Chaika to try to get a response from him about if he knew Kristen and answers they wanted in reference to Eric's drugging. And they didn't really get anywhere until Daniel left. And Nicole was there alone to interrogate him. And she got an answer, kind of. I mean, he wasn't that helpful, but he told her, I'm trying to remember, he told her 3 numbers, if I remember right, 3 different numbers. And Nicole figured out that those 3 numbers were the combination to the safe right behind him.
Yeah,
right.
He was talking about a leaky ship.
Right. Yeah.
Because they shot a hole through that picture.
And so after she went and opened the safe, she found the evidence in there for that would, help set Father Eric free, so to speak. Well, while she was fishing through the evidence, Dr. Chaika was able to come to somehow and escape. So he got in the car and hightailed it out of there. So needless to say, Nicole was very excited that she found the evidence. I mean, she was overjoyed. But afterwards, I'm not sure if it was that episode. I think it might have been a few days later. She was contemplating what to do with the evidence. She was so excited to find the evidence to be able to clear Father Eric, but she knew that if she gave this evidence to him, that this would possibly mean that he would go back to the priesthood, which would mean that Nicole would lose her chance with him. So she, to make a long story short, she decided to destroy the evidence that would have cleared Father Eric in the Kristen Eric situation. So,
I like how you call it a situation.
I didn't know how else to word it.
Catastrophe?
Well, that might be better. So I guess the question I posed to you, Misty, anyone in the chat room, did Nicole do the right thing? Was her heart in the right place? Or is she just completely crazy? What do you think?
I think she did not do the right thing, because if it comes out, he is going to be angry. He has already made a decision whether or not he was found guilty or not, that he was going to choose her. Look, she doesn't know that, obviously, but he had told that monk that.
Right.
And I think that she is doing the wrong thing, because when it comes out, he is going to be very upset about it.
But you have to think that her heart is in the right place, kind of, because
it is, because she does love him, and he wants to love her, and so
right.
She just thinks that if she tells him, he'll choose priesthood.
But it's been
that's
so
not
long.
True.
Nicole has wanted Eric for so long, and she's finally reached a point where she could have him. So, of course, as Christina says in the chat room, her heart is non-existent. And that could be argued. But, hold on, just a second. The volume was up on my laptop. Anyways, I love Nicole, and if you listen to our show, you know how much I'm a Nicole fan. But this obviously wasn't the best move for her, although in her defense, I can see why she did it. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and I can see why she did it, because she knows that she doesn't have a chance with Father Eric if he knew about this evidence, because the priesthood is something near and dear to Father Eric's heart. I don't know why I keep saying Father Eric, because he's not a father anymore. Near and dear to Eric's heart. And if he knew that there was evidence that would clear him of this, that there was a chance he could go back to the priesthood, he probably would. So, I mean, I can see both sides. But as an Eric and Nicole, I'm still torn between Eric and Nicole and Daniel and Nicole. I like Eric out of the priesthood because he's way more interesting. But I just want Nicole to be happy because she's never happy. I mean, there's always something that screws it up.
And this is going to screw it up for her, and it's her own fault.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I can see you can't be always happy on a soap. I know that. But, I mean, it would be nice for Nicole to be happy for 2 seconds. I mean, she loses her children. How many children has she lost? 2 or, and, I mean, she just never can find the right man. And, I mean, it's sad. But I have no idea where they're going with this story. I mean, I thought back when Greg Vaughn was cast as Eric, they were going to head down the Eric and Nicole route. And that was more than a year ago, 2 years ago maybe. And they've been building this up slowly. I think they've gone way too slow, in my opinion. I don't know any other storyline that they've built, like a romance storyline that has taken this long to build up. I mean, I thought the Will and Sonny storyline was long, but that is nothing in comparison to Eric and Nicole. I have no idea where they're going with this, but I just hope that whatever their end game is, that it will be Eric and Nicole, because I know that's what most fans want to see. I know most probably don't want to see Daniel and Nicole, but personally I would be okay with that. That's just me. It's probably going to be Daniel and Jennifer, which is a whole other discussion for another day, which we probably won't get into because nobody likes Daniel and Jennifer. But
some people do.
I mean, I do. I'm a fan, but I'm one of the few, so I'm not. I won't bring it up. But
I don't mind Jennifer.
Yeah, I don't see the issue with them. I think the issue people have with them is that they're on a lot. Maybe they're forced. Maybe people think they're forced or something. I don't know. I'm not. But maybe there's going to be a love triangle now, Daniel, Jennifer, and Liam. Liam, that's his name. Who knows? Yeah. But that's off topic. So, what are your hopes? What are your hopes for Eric and Nicole? Or for the story? Whatever.
I want her to go ahead and tell him the truth and say that she doesn't have to say that she got rid of that evidence, but, well, I guess she does because she shredded it, so there's nothing left. Or I don't know if she shredded it all yet or not, but I just want her to tell him the truth before it's too late, because if he finds out from someone else, it is not going to be pretty, and I really want them to be together.
Right. Most fans do, I think.
Yeah.
I think Days knows that they have a large following. So, I mean, I would hope that...
Eric and Nicole was a huge thing way back when.
Right. Yeah, it's not new. That's right. It's not new.
And when she left him for the money to go be with Lucas, everybody was like, yeah, like it was a huge thing. Like, Eric and Nicole was pretty big back then. So we're all excited to get it back. So.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I have a feeling they're at some point, whether that be in 6 months or a year or 5, they'll get to Eric and Nicole. How soon that is, like I said, I don't know. But, I mean, just, you got to be patient. Yeah. If you're not patient with a soap, then you just can't watch. You have to have patience to be a soap fan.
Right. Yeah, because their one day is our whole week.
Right, exactly.
So you have to be patient.
Good point. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kendra on to see if she has anything to say about Eric and Nicole right before we get into our Will and Sonny discussion. So, Kendra, you're live on Common Ground Radio. Do you have anything to add about Eric and Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I was mad about that. I mean, Nicole should have told Eric the truth, and Eric.
I think she's just scared. I think Nicole's scared.
I get where she comes from.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to get hurt again, and I just really want them to like get together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a huge fan of Eric and Nicole back in 2000.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah, they have a huge following. I mean, I never mentioned that they had thing way back when. I mean, not way back when, but Eric and Nicole isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, I think Days knows.
It's a new thing with Greg Vaughn. But...
Right. It wasn't Greg Vaughn. It was it Jensen Ackles?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm torn between Dad and Nicole. Like, yeah, I like heading towards Dad and Nicole. Like, yeah.
Would you be opposed to Daniel and Nicole? You said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. Okay.
Because
I guess I'm alone.
Dan.
If Eric wasn't there, I wouldn't mind it. I actually liked them together before Eric came back.
Yeah.
I did enjoy seeing Daniel.
Yeah, Dan's not. Yeah, Dan's not boring. Like.
No, I mean, I'm a fan of Daniel. I mean, he runs around. I think Days is writing him to be like the hero and everything.
Super Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Which annoys some people, I know.
Yeah, like. That's annoying. Like.
I think he's great. I remember.
Yeah.
He saved Will's life. I remember.
Yeah.
He saved Bo.
He saved so many lives.
With his, was it his spleen surgery that he had to do on Bo? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, Bo. When Bo who? Who's Bo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Brady. Wherever he's at.
Yeah.
And he saved Jennifer.
Right. Oh, well, how many times? That's more than one.
Yep.
And did he helped Nicole, too. Nicole and Eric, he freed them from being exploded in the bottom of their apartment or whatever.
He saved Chloe.
He saved half of Salem, as Guest 22 said.
Yes.
Chelsea.
Yes.
Saved Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, Chloe, Kate.
Right.
Twice in one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And he always had a love affair, too, with his patients.
Oh, that's right. And Chad.
Except for the men.
Right. Well, I forgot about when Chad was just shot recently, and he saved his life as well. And Brady. Oh, my gosh, it's never ending. I didn't know it was that many. It was basically the whole town.
Yep, he has.
Why don't you ever see Kayla saving someone's life?
Yeah.
She's a doctor.
She's not a world-renowned surgeon.
Oh,
Daniel.
Sorry. How dare I forget that?
I mean, he's like the best surgeon in the whole world.
Oh, my gosh. Don't even get me started.
Maybe he can do my knee replacement surgery. I joke, but I'm serious. Not really, not him do it, but I'm
Be
probably
careful around him. Be careful around him.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh.
So I think that covers everything for Eric and Nicole. One more thing, I guess 26 brought up that Kayla deserves a storyline. So true. Mary Beth Evans is such a talent. She deserves something more meaty. She deserves something, front burner. Which
I thought they were gonna hook her up with Abe.
Me too.
I thought that's where they were going with that. What happened?
I mean, Abe disappeared too. You never see Abe and Kayla. So maybe they're leaving to our imagination that since they're not on the air together, they're off there.
Who?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Idiot storyline.
Yeah.
And she does Steve. Yeah, well,
I know. If they would bring Steve back, that would be wonderful.
He's free.
Yes.
Steven Nichols, I mean, he was on YNR, but he left the show.
Maybe they can hook Kayla up with Liam since Dannifer's getting back together.
Oh, my God. We're just talking crazy now. Okay.
And then Abe can hook up with...
Okay. Oh, my gosh, Misty.
Maxine. What?
Well, okay. All right, I'll give you that. I
love Maxine.
Yeah, I would give her that.
She's annoying.
She is so funny.
She's so sweet. Well, maybe not sweet, but she's funny. She can be a
no,
little...
she's not sweet. She's very blunt.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
That's why I like her, because she says it like it is.
Right. Well, she's an acquired taste, I guess you would say, maybe. Okay.
I know, Maxine and Ann, I mean, they just make me laugh. I really like those characters.
We haven't seen Anne in forever. I wonder where she's been.
Yeah, I miss her.
Her curls have been missing for quite a while.
I know.
Who knows? Okay, well, let's see. Like I said, let's go ahead and get into Will and Sunny. We got about 20 minutes here, and Misty has a big announcement at the end of our show. You'll be sure to not want to miss for all you longtime Days fans, and for all you Days fans. But if you're a longtime Days fan, you'll be extremely excited about this news. And we may or may not have time for spoilers, but if we don't, Misty will be sure to post those on our page. Right,
yeah.
Misty?
Yes, I have some. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and get into Will and Sunny now. Let's see how far back to take this. I believe we talked about when he proposed, and Will said no.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll start with the Will and Marlena conversation, which was a few weeks ago, which we have not seen in a while. I've missed the Will and Marlena scenes, but
I know.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They're back. Well, I mean, it was short, but I mean, still better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So they met at the club, TBD, and Will told Marlena that Sunny had proposed, and that's all he said. And of course, Marlena was all giddy and got up and gave him a hug and said how excited she was. But then Will said that he said no, and Marlena she was very Marlena was like, she didn't know.
It's like she wanted to be like, why?
Why would you say no to him? He's the only one that can actually deal with your crazy family.
Oh, that's so funny. She didn't think that he would say no.
No,
but,
right.
You know, by the look on her face, she was like, huh?
I don't think any of us did, actually.
I know, I didn't.
But in this conversation with Marlena, Marlena reminded him that Sunny has stuck with him through everything, and even after, being able to deal with his family, his crazy family, and after, the baby situation. I won't say situation because that makes it sound bad. After baby Ara was born, I mean, he stuck around through everything, through the lies that Will had told him. It includes the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So the point that Marlena was trying to get across to Will is that if Sunny didn't love him, he wouldn't have stuck with him through all this drama, I guess is the best word to put it. And I think after his talk with Marlena, that is when Will realized that he's ready. Because initially Will had said that he couldn't marry Sunny because of the baggage that he carried in reference to the Nick quote unquote murder, because he's not really dead. And so I think after that, I think the scene was interrupted. Who interrupted the scene between Will and
Julie?
Julie? Of course it was. Oh my gosh.
Julie.
Don't even get me started on that woman. I could go on an hour-long rant about that woman, along with Maggie. Maggie and Julie are basically the same person. I mean, they're practically twins. But like I said, I'm not going to get into that. I won't, because I'll never shut up. So, let's see. Now, we fast forward a few days ahead. We'll ask Gabby to take Ari out for a walk or whatever, and he is planning Valentine's Day, I believe.
Yes.
Right. So that's why he asked Gabby to take Ari out, because it was Valentine's Day. And we all know that Gabby doesn't have anyone on Valentine's Day, so she can go out.
No one cares.
She can go out, or Ari can be her Valentine. So
they did the heart pillow flashback.
I was not even going to bring that up, but thank you, Misty, for bringing it up.
I was excited about that.
I cannot with you tonight. Now I'm just completely flustered.
I know. After that image, I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God! How do I deal with you? I have no idea. Well, see what you've done. The Valentine's Day, Gabby, Ari left. Will, he's setting up Valentine's Day for Sunny. Now I'm back on track. he had sent Sonny a gift at the club. It was a photo book, photo album, whatever you want to call it. And I believe it said it was WH I love you SK, or it was SK I love you WH. I don't remember which way it was. And it was a photo book of their life together. We only saw one picture, but we're supposed to assume that it was filled with pictures. He's very creative. I don't think most men would do that for Valentine's Day, put together something elaborate like that. Most of them wait till the last minute to make plans for a dinner out at, like, you know, some 2-star restaurant. But anyways, that's aside from the point. He, after Sonny got the gift at the club, he was at the club working, doing inventory and whatnot. He got the gift and went home, and of course Gabby and Ari were gone, and he saw that Will had decorated, I guess you would say, the place, and he was all dressed up. Might I add that Will has the worst wardrobe that I can imagine.
Yes.
I mean, I love Days and everything, and they have a great department, great writing staff and everything, but their wardrobe department is something left to be desired, let me tell you. I mean, some of the things that those actors wear, especially Will's character, the Will character, and
Mr. Rogers.
Oh my gosh, the ruffles that Maggie wears. Don't even get me started on that. And back on track. He told Will that he loved his gift, Valentine's gift. Then they sat down on the couch, and I think Sonny gave Will his gift. And then Will had another gift for Sonny. Sonny's gift was a book that was written in the, I believe, 1910s, 1920s, 10s, something like that. And it was written by, it was basically, could you say it was a biography of sorts, or something like that, of a man who was closeted at that time, because, you know, at that time it was, I think you could have been killed, if I remember right, for being gay at that time. So he wrote a book about his trials and tribulations, living as a closeted man in the 1900s. And Will said he heard about the book, and he was excited to get it, of course. And
Yes, 24 says E.M. Foster, I believe.
Oh, that's the author is E.M. Foster.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Will had another gift for Sonny, and it was another page for the photo book that February 14th, the day that Will finally wised up and said, and then Sonny paused and looked at Will and said yes. And I think Sonny was kind of shocked by it. And of course that
was so cute.
They write them so well. The writing staff has written them in such a way better than most couples that they write on the show, in a more romantic way. And it's great to see how they write them and how they actually portray them as well. I mean, it seems very realistic how they play it and things like that. So kudos to Freddie and Guy and the writers. And the writers had won a Writers Guild Award a few weeks ago, by the way, as we mentioned on one of our previous shows. So that just goes to show you how amazing these writers are. Anyways, they had so anyways, Will had said yes. I mean, and so he wrote it down, basically. He didn't really say yes. He had it on a piece of paper. So Sonny was kind of taken aback, I guess you would say. I mean, he was happy but kind of shocked in a way. I mean, I think he stood up and said no, or something like that. He said, no. And Will said, wait, what do you mean no? He said, no, I mean yes, but you said you wanted to wait or whatever. And then Will's response was, well, if we wait for my, to clean up my baggage, and lack of a better usage of terms, we could be waiting forever. So, I mean, I think the reason he said yes was after his talk with Marlene. I think we can all agree that the reason he said yes is because he had to talk with his grandma, and his grandma talked some sense into him. That's why I think he said yes. So they agreed, or so they're engaged.
Yay!
To make a long story short, they're engaged.
And they both have engagement rings.
Right, that's what I was just getting ready to get to.
Yay.
That day, on Valentine's Day, they did not have engagement rings. I mean, Sunny had Will's, but Will gave it back. But this past week, step ahead a few days, Will had come home with an engagement ring for Sunny. So they exchanged engagement rings last week, after Valentine's Day.
They're aggressive.
What was that?
Will was being aggressive.
Well, I'll get to that. Yeah, right. So they exchanged wedding rings, and Gabby wasn't there, of course. Luckily, thank goodness she wasn't there. I can't believe she didn't. No, I'm not going into that.
Yeah.
She got in an argument with Sunny and didn't see that he had a wedding ring on.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But I don't want to talk about Gabby because she doesn't deserve to be talked about. There's all kinds of words I could use, but I don't want to. So they finally exchanged rings. They finally agreed to get married, and they exchanged rings. So it's official. And I think it makes a lot of fans happy. They've waited so long for this. I mean, not that long. It's just been a couple of years. But to soap fans, that's like an eternity. As a soap fan, I've learned that you got to be patient. If you're not, as I said earlier, you got to have patience. So they told Lucas and Sammy at the same time, and I believe everybody was shocked by the reactions of Lucas and Sammy. Lucas was more excited than Sammy. I mean, he was so giddy. He jumped up and walked over and gave both of them a hug, while Sammy kind of looked like she was confused in a lesson. Or my thought, which is probably not, I thought she was jealous, but I won't get into that. So anyways, Sammy explained to them about how, her experience and everything.
They're not you. Will and Sunny are not you.
Exactly. That's Will and Sunny are not Sammy and Lucas. Will is certainly not like his mother. I mean, they have some similarities, but in terms of their romance relationship department, they're not the same. Which is the point that Will got to, which I thought that was a good scene. One of Guy Wilson's best scenes since he debuted was that monologue that he had when Will was telling Sammy about his reasoning behind marrying Sunny and the tribulations that they had been through. I thought that was a very good monologue by Guy.
Yeah, Guy. Guy did a good job.
Yeah, it was great. I think he did a great job. I mean, not to say that he hadn't done a good job up to that point. I'm just saying that was a very good job. But anyways, to make a long story short, Sammy came around, and so she was excited, and then she went home and sexed up EJ after she found out that her son was getting married, which I still can't understand why. And that whole scene was awkward when she went back home and saw EJ and started walking around, and then, but I won't get into that. I know you're an EJ and Sammy fan, Misty, but I just had to throw that in there. It really confused me and irked me, and I was just I didn't understand the whole point. But anyways, so Lucas stayed back, and for a while, and I thought it was, I never thought that I would have heard this from Lucas. He called Will and Sunny his sons. Now, I was surprised to hear that myself. I never thought I would actually hear Lucas come around that much. I mean, he basically did like a 360. He came around, well, not 360 because then he would have been back to where he started, but a 180. And, it's nice to see how they've written him because they've completely, I don't want to say changed his character, but they've developed Lucas into a more understanding and accepting individual, which is great to see. So, I guess as we're running out of time, I wanted to get into more discussion, but I just rambled on. So I guess the question I wanted to ask was, do you think that Will and Sonny are going to get married without a hitch, do you think, you know how weddings happen on soaps, do you think that their wedding is actually going to happen without a hitch, or do you think that something will ruin it? And, no, yeah.
Gabby might ruin it.
Who will?
Gabby might ruin it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think she will. I think someone might ruin it by bringing up Gabby, what she did to Melanie. But I don't know. Misty, what do you think?
I think I think their wedding will probably be the only wedding that doesn't get interrupted.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean,
because it's special.
Right. I mean, it's a very major, it's a huge story for the show.
Mhm.
And I mean,
and if something does happen, it'll be after they've already been pronounced.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I can't see anything keeping them from getting married.
Adrian, wait.
Unless Nick might do something. I mean, who knows with Nick?
But, I know. True.
I mean, you never know what he's going to do next. But I think, I mean, the writing for Will and Sonny up to this point has been, some of the best writing that I've seen for any couple in daytime. And I've been watching it for quite a while. I've been watching soaps for around 8 years, and I've never seen a couple written so. I would like to see a little more drama that doesn't involve Gabby. Maybe another person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Brian or somebody coming back. But, I mean, a little more drama would be nice. I mean, they are happy a lot, which I'm not saying I'm complaining, but I'm saying that you can't be happy all the time, as I said earlier. You can't be happy all the time on soaps.
Yeah.
So they need some kind of...
Brian will show up at the wedding.
Oh, Brian or Brent. As guest Brian or Brent.
Yeah, Brent. And say, you can't marry him.
That would be, that would be something that you would never thought to see in daytime. A third guy coming in to blow up a gay wedding. I mean, that would be daytime history right there. I don't see it happening myself, but
no.
I want to see Sonny's brothers.
Yeah, we never see Sonny's brothers. That's a good point. But as far as we know, from what we know from the show, it seems like Sonny's brothers are both accepting of the relationship. Who knows? Maybe they'll be here for the wedding. I don't know.
The only person I could see maybe causing any drama is Adrian.
Adrian, I had the same thought. Yep. She's going to attest or, detest, whatever, I don't know what word I'm trying to use. She's going to, she doesn't want Sonny to marry Will. And if you look at this week's digest, that's exactly what it says on the cover. So you'll be able to see that this week. But, yeah, I'm very pleased with the direction that the show is going with them. I don't know if they're going to give them any more drama, but I would assume that the Nick murder is going to affect Will and Sonny as well. Of course, Kate, Gabby, and Sammy, because they're the main culprits. But I just hope that as they go forward with Will and Sonny, that they do add some drama that does not. Let me repeat, that does not involve Gabby and Nick. Some drama that does not involve Gabby and Nick would be nice. Because, Gabby will be exiting in April, so that's going to be a nice, refreshing change to the show. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with Nick when Gabby exits. That kind of scares me. He's going to have more time to, be all creepy over Will and Sonny, but I don't know what they're going to do with him. Maybe Nick and Teresa. But anyways, just to sum everything up tonight, I think that Eric and Nicole, as slow as they're going, very, very, like snail's pace, literally snail's pace. At some point, they're going to get together. The lies will all be confronted, and true love will win out, because I think that what Eric and Nicole have are true love, along with Will and Sonny. I think Eric and Nicole and Will and Sonny are two of the most true love romances on days. So I think, of course, true love always wins out. So, whenever it happens for Eric and Nicole, I'm sure it'll be momentous. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know when, but don't get your hopes up for it to happen soon, because as you know, there's a huge lie hanging over both of them. Well, mainly Nicole, but it'll happen for them. And as for Will and Sonny, explain how that's going to happen, thinking about if there was going to be an EJ and Sammy wedding with them. But as we heard, EJ said that he didn't want a double wedding, so there's not going to be a double wedding. So don't worry about that. But I'm not sure when this wedding's going to happen. I don't think they want a long engagement. I believe they both said that they don't want a long engagement, so expect it to be within, I'm guessing within 2 months would be my estimate. Maybe the wedding within 2 months. Don't quote me on that, but that's just my guess. So, anyways, it's going to be a great spring on days, and I can't wait for the summer because I bet it's going to be even more crazy in the summer because days always heat up in the summer. So I can't wait to see what happens then. Okay. All guest 22 said that Jason 47 said 4 to 8 weeks for the wedding. So that's, approximately 2 months. So that's close. Yeah. We'll see. All right. I think that's all for tonight. I think we covered everything. Eric and Nicole and Will and Sunny. We could have covered more had we not both hung up. Well, Misty hung up and I dropped the call. We'll be sure to not do this in the future. And we apologize again for the 5-10 minutes of dead air. And we thank you all for sticking around with us through the dead air. So, again, that's all I have for tonight. And I think, Misty, we don't have time for spoilers, so Misty will be able to post those on our Facebook page, very soon. So I'm going to go ahead and let Misty close the show for this evening.
Okay. Before we end, we would like to remind you all to go and follow us on Twitter at CG Online Radio. Also, like us on Facebook. Just type in Common Ground Radio in the search bar. Drop us a comment on our page. Tell us what you think about our show, what you would like for us to talk about. Also, check out airnationradio.com because there you'll not only find links to all of our past shows, but you will find a little biography on myself and Brandon, along with all the other amazing shows on the Air Nation Radio Network. And follow them on Twitter as well at Air Nation Radio. If you're into iHeartRadio, you can find us there as well. We are under the talk show category. One last piece of information before we close. If you are big fans of Bill and Susan Hayes, they will be on our show March the 9th. And we'll be talking to them about Days of Our Lives, of course, and then some other things that's going on in their lives. So be sure to tune into that. It's our normal day, normal time, March the 9th, 7 Eastern.
2 weeks from now.
Yes. So we're very excited. And but we won't talk about how we feel about Julie. We'll keep that to ourselves. Okay. Anyway, we would like to thank everyone who joined us in the chat room this evening and Kendra for joining in on our discussion. We hope that you all had as much fun as we did, and that covers it all. So for Common Ground Radio, I am Misty.
I'm Brandon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. I said the same thing you did. Okay. Good night, all.
You've been listening to Common Ground Radio with hosts Brandon and Misty on the Air Nation Radio Network. Thank you for joining us.